My name is Ben Pellicori, my wife Brittany Pellicori at the RIA. Thank you very much for inviting us to be here, speak. It's our pleasure in doing so. Just a little bit about ourselves, I guess. We cover the Northern Corridor. We do work for a company called Ray White Real Estate. We are based out in South Morang. Our office is in South Morang, but we have serviced the local area here for well over 15 years. So we cover majority of the north, so anywhere from, I would say, Bundoora heading up towards Wallan, Whittlesea. We've even done as far as just before Kilmore, actually. So we service quite a range of areas. So just for us. But obviously, if we are not able to help you in a particular area, we can obviously refer you on to people that are. Britt and I, we've been in the industry for combined well over 30 years, myself 18 years. You know, we've built a little reputation for ourselves, exceeding expectations throughout. We actually have a real life vendor here today that we sold for over the weekend. So Bill, he could attribute to that. But I believe in honesty, integrity, maintaining a friendly relationship, obviously a professional one as well. But it works well with every single client. I think these principles are really the core kind of values that have allowed us to build strong and lasting relationships throughout the community. You know, we support, obviously there are some of our results there, and as you can see there is Bill just over there, right there, that was us over the weekend. So we build quite strong relationships with our vendors. We have a saying that it's not business, it's family. We literally treat you guys as if you were our own flesh and blood, and you know, we really take the approach of, you know, it's a family. I always put, you know, myself in your position and what would be the best possible result, or what is the best possible result for you guys. We are very community based. We are affiliated with the local RSL down here, and also their sub branches, which is more particularly the Bowls Club, but also with the Poppy Ladies as well. We donate a lot of our time with them. We give back to them as well. We you know, they do a knitting course and so forth. So they do that every Monday. So we give a lot to them too. I guess that's a little bit about us, but our family is, like I said, our family is also involved in it. The boys don't have a choice. We've got two kids together, Massimo and Leo. Massimo is 7. Leo is now a little bit older now. There he is down there. Massimo is 7. Leo is just about 2. And the boys really have no choice in being part of the business. They really don't. All right, so I guess today is more of a step-by-step guide as to, you know, I guess what to do prior to going onto the market, or being on the market, what's right and what's wrong. There really is no right and wrong in terms of a method, because you may feel that, you know, auctions might be a little bit too full on for you, even though sometimes they are the best possible way of getting the most out of the market. Sometimes it's not the right approach for you as a client. So, you know, you've got options. You can, you know, sell off market. You can go to a private sale or an auction or a forthcoming sale by set date, let's call it. But there are options, and obviously we'll run through that. Okay. There are a couple of pros and cons as to, for example, auction, there's no cooling off period. Your time frame is quite short. Is there subject to finance? So when a buyer purchases, are they allowed to put the contract subject to anything? And at an auction, it is no, they're not subject to anything. So it is a completely unconditional contract. There is no cooling off period, and the time frame is 4 weeks on the market. The prep time prior to that, it could be, as Leon was saying, anywhere, you know, I think, Bill, we talked, 8 weeks. Yeah, so Bill did that. It was slowly. We talked for a little bit in between, and, you know, we asked for advice as to what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what should we keep, what we shouldn't keep, and they're all big factors. A private sale, you still would do those things, but as I said, the method is just, we would put it on with one single asking price. The duration usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. In saying that, we've sold it within 8 days as well, so it could be very, very quick. It could be even quicker than an auction campaign. But it does open you up to conditions as well, so that buyer may be subject to finance or subject to building and pest inspection or whatever it may be. It allows buyers to bid conditionally or make an offer conditionally to something. There is a video coming up, so let's...
Righto guys, well, let's go through some of the changes we made with our vendors here to get the exceptional result.
Stolen soul, congratulations on your purchase here today.
What we did was we had our team come on through, we had our maintenance done, stylists come on through, professional photography, and it really contributed to everything that you see and the result that we had to here today. So as you can see, we had some staining done, we had gardens done, and we had the painting organised, and throughout the home, what we got organised was the staging, a very big and important factor when selling property.
We touched on it there in that video. There are a couple of key factors that you want to do when presenting your home for sale. The way that I see it is that this is one of your biggest assets, if not the biggest asset that you own. So you want to present it in its best possible light to the market so we can get as much as we possibly can out of the market. So I don't like leaving any stone unturned when we go to market, right? So if it means that we've got to wait a couple of weeks and, get the gardens right or, like I said, the staging correct or whatever it may be, it definitely can be I guess fearful. It can be a bit, it may take a toll on you, we understand, but I guess everything that we would suggest would only be in your benefit, right? So like I said, it's not a matter of hurrying anybody along for any time factor reason, but it is more, let's get it right, let's get it presented in the right light. I can tell you for Bill's place as well, I'm coming back to Bill, but we had it all correct, but I didn't like the photos. I just had the photographer go back out there and reshoot the property again because I wasn't quite happy with how the photos had turned out. And that was nothing that Bill and Chris had done. It was just more the lighting and the time of day and not the photographer's fault, but just how it was. So I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit too picky or whatever it is, but I really do believe in let's getting it right 100% from the start, so then we don't have any hiccups along the way. Staging with Bill's, coming back to Bill again, we actually did a partial stage. So we had some of Bill's furniture and some of Mel's furniture as well, right? And what it does is we declutter in the first place, and we get rid of some stuff and or we pack it away and it goes off to storage or wherever it may be. And then Mel would come in, or a stylist would come in, and she would just bring in all the little, kind of paintings, pillows, maybe an occasional chair or whatever it may be. If the dining table's maybe not quite right for the space or whatever it may be, it doesn't match the style of the home like we were saying earlier. What it does do is what you're trying to do is make an emotional connection with the buyer, so the buyer then can connect. When they connect, and as we all know, they connect well, and if you've got 1 or 2 people that are bidding for it at an auction, for example, then the sky's the limit. We could go well over reserve, and obviously that little bit that you invest in staging.
Sorry.
Yep.
You say about a buyer looking at the emotional.
Yep.
But when you do staging, you're taking the emotional out of that house, and it looks like a display home.
Yeah. Some do, and that's when it's completely vacant. But as we did with Bill, please, yeah.
Answer your question with that, because when the lady came through, I said we had the home set up the way we wanted the home.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's not what people are looking for. And the lady that came through and Ben came through before her, we had to take out a hell of a lot of stuff. Just little things like the ornaments and some paintings and things like that. And when they were replaced with maybe trendier stuff that totally changed the outlook of the house.
Yeah.
And in the photographing, it made a massive difference. And we only had to take out 4 or 5 pieces of furniture, but a lot of it was getting rid of a lot of the stuff that was placed throughout the house that made it our home,
Yeah.
but not necessarily what some people were looking for. So
I
yeah, I
think
would,
you've got
to me the photos and stuff made a massive difference. It really was worth it.
I believe you've got to take personal photographs out of the picture.
You don't have to. You don't have to, but it depends if you do want to depersonalise as well as declutter. Some people don't want their the grandchildren online or on an so yeah. So and there's no right or wrong answer in doing that. So if you're okay with it and everyone's that's fine, you can leave them up. But depersonalising, decluttering is definitely one of the biggest suggestions that we definitely do. Within doing that too, obviously, you want to make sure that it's looking 100%. You want to, all those little touch-ups that you thought you'd get to one day, that one day has finally come. So the gardens, obviously, that's important too. So whether it's remulching or just pruning back or hedging or I mean, if I had shown you Bill's garden, let me tell you, the grass was like, it was carpet. It was fantastic. In saying that, so if I can just touch on Bill's auction, right? He had a great base to start with, absolutely, but listen to absolutely everything that we kind of suggested. So doing the staging, I mean, it was clean, so there's no need for that, but the lighting, yeah, we got the lighting changed as well. That was a suggestion that I had because the home just felt a little bit too dark. So we had, so they had, I think it was halogen lighting, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So that got changed to LED lighting and it brightened up the home as well. Gardens and the touch-ups were done. And I mean, we had a stellar campaign. It was above average, if I'm being honest. We had a lot of numbers come through. We had 7 bidders, and we sold for well over their reserve on the day. So all the little things that you kind of do is not to take anything away from you, as in your home, but what it's designed to do. It's designed to I guess go to the broader market and get as many eyeballs and as many eyes on your property as you possibly can. Like I said, you've got possibly one chance to do it, and we want to get it right for you. So it's absolutely imperative that you do, even if it's 2 or 3 out of these things, but if you can do all of it, fantastic.
I think an important point is the start of the process is really looking at decluttering.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 4 points you've got up on the screen.
Yeah.
It's thinking through what's the market going to want.
Yeah.
Not what do I think the market wants.
Correct, yes.
So that whole process can take some time.
Some time. Like I said, it was 8 weeks with Bill, but I think honestly, if you engage a company like Leone's where, they can come out and they can maybe do some things for you slowly, then, it may be, beneficial. You don't obviously, have to hire a storage place or whatever it may be. I don't know too much where you store it all, but the garage is also a great storage facility where we're not selling the garage, but it is an opportunity to store some stuff away in there. So the way that I see it, you're packing up anyway. So let's pack it up. Let's depersonalize it, declutter it as much as we can. It makes the space looks bigger and open and more brighter, and it will contribute to a better dollar figure at the end for you. Obviously, that's one aspect of getting it prepared, but then when you actually do it, it's all the little things. These are some of the little things that we did or we do for every single property, and the letterbox drops, for example, it's a small thing, it's a small cost, but let me tell you, if you find someone that is local and has wanting family to be nearby, they tend to pay more money. They're called the emotional buyer. So we want or the heart buyer. So we want as many of them as we possibly can. But there's a few things. Your signboards, social media, online portals, property videos. All those things contribute to a really good campaign. Open for inspections for us, well, you know, we monitor every single one of them, right? So we want to check out the numbers and how they're kind of going along. So how they're going. So we're constantly monitoring, you know, what your inspections online look like, what they look like in a physical sense, because obviously, you know, the more buyers that look at it, the more potential bidders there are, the more potential bidders there are, the more potential money you make. Oh, this is another one about auction day, I guess.
At $671,000, we are selling. Thank you very much for your spirit of bidding and everyone else that joined in tonight. At $671,000, go on sale. Congratulations on your purchase.
Thank you very much to Ray White and to Ben in particular. He's a really nice young fellow. Easy to work with, local bloke, knows the area, knows the customers, and everything was easy as. Nothing was too much trouble. It was a short campaign. It was only about a 3 or 4 week campaign on his advice, and it turned out really well. We got a really great price at auction. It was good.
And his advice initially, we were going to sell it empty. He said, no, don't do that. We'll get someone in, get it staged. The house looks $1 million. Worked fantastically.
So there's obviously a method there, and you know, obviously it's rinse and repeat. But we always say, and Britt brought it up the other day, it was a good point, that you're not just hiring an agent when you engage with an agent, but you're also hiring their team essentially. Like I work closely with a stager, Mel, our gardens and our maintenance is Bruno, our photography is David, you know, so we work, you're not just hiring myself and Britt, for example, you're hiring the whole team. And the whole team is an important one, because if it's not cohesive, and you know, the auctioneer as well, that's another person that's quite important. So for example, the auctioneer and myself, we've been working together for 15 years. So he kind of understands what I want, and I understand what he wants, and we can kind of talk to each other during the auction without having to actually talk to each other. So it's great to have a team like that, because then it's obviously, you know, everyone has, you know, knows their role and knows what I want out of them, and obviously they know the expectation from the get-go.
Ben, on one of your previous slides,
Which one was that?
you had numbers of online views.
Yep.
I think there was 7,600.
Yep.
That was a little bit surprising to me. It was as many views.
Mm-hmm.
So that importance of the visual walkthrough.
So I believe you're talking about that is Bill's campaign. That is Bill's property. That was what was in. So I can tell you, the more people that look at it online, it relates to inspections. So the more inspections, the more dollars. Yeah, in total views. Yeah. So I mean, there's total views from everything. So would it be, you know, whether or not they click into floor plans and so forth. So it monitors absolutely everything, right? So even from our back end too. So realestate.com. Look, it's obviously a conversation for another day, but it is the biggest and best kind of online portal, but it is the most expensive. But if you're not on there, you're not on the market, let me tell you. You know, we know that over 90% of the market look on realestate.com alone and buy only for looking on realestate.com alone. So it is the biggest portal, but it is the best. So obviously the process, you know, from you know, when we've sold to, you know, settlement day, there's a few things that you need to do. And obviously having a conveyancer or a solicitor to do the contract side of things is also quite important. Again, I have one that's in my team too that we can refer to you. There's no problems at all. But sometimes I find, you know, people have their own kind of solicitors ready to go. But if you need it, it's obviously there. Obviously, the whole settlement period can be, I guess, negotiated, let's call it. Sometimes it happens anywhere from 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, anywhere up to 90 days. So part of the decluttering and packing up and so forth is obviously to help with that process also, because it makes it easier from when you actually sell. Sometimes, a client would like to be in, in 30 days, for example, and it's, hard to pack up, 40 years worth of memories or 50 years or however many years you've been there worth of memories in such a short amount of time. So, it does decluttering and doing it all prior to can help with that process as well. Does anyone have any questions or anything like that?
With hiring you and Ray White and all the family, how does the cost of that?
Yeah.
Is it a flat rate? Does it depend where you live? Does it depend on what the value of the house is?
Yeah. So the way that I kind of structure it is obviously a percentage on the sale price, right? Obviously, if the sale price is low end, then the percentage is higher. But if the sale price is in the millions, then it's obviously less as well. But I generally give like the people that I kind of like these, for example, Bill got a special rate because it came from here. So I definitely do give discounts from here. But if we're talking, if you were to come on just normally, it'd probably be a little bit more expensive. So again, that's something we can chat about a little bit later on.
The comment just for us is opportunity to better understand process than the cost.
Yeah.
And that sort of relationship's what we need.
Yep.
So for me, the biggest one is the marketing cost up front and understanding that there are different options.
There is,
hopefully selling a house in a couple of weeks, but you pay the marketing or advertising costs up. Most times a real estate agent may have an option for finance. So there's
the pay later or campaign agent. So campaign agent can actually, let's, dive into that. Campaign agent, you could essentially borrow or lend up to just under 15,000, and that can pay for your marketing costs, it can pay for the staging, it can pay for maintenance and so forth without any invoices, right? So there is that, but they do charge you 6.9% of whatever you borrow, right? And that's paid at settlement then, or at 6 months, whichever comes first, right? Some agencies do hold the cost of the advertising, but these days it is very, very rare. So it's either an upfront payment out of your own pocket, or it is the campaign agent, and that's the model that we adopt as well. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate the chat.